Phew, it's hailing. Hello and welcome to this week's video. The weather has been completely manic in the last couple of weeks. We have gone from sunshine, blue sky days to rain, to wind that can give the Cape Doctor a good run for its money, to hail and more rain, and there's snow back on the Estrela mountain. And today is another rainy day, so I've just lit the fire to make us nice and cozy inside here, and I'm going to tell you what I've done in the last week. I have been busy with a few things. I have had some help pruning the olives. I decided to finally unpack some of my paintings that I brought with from South Africa and hung them on the wall. Isn't it amazing how just hanging a few pictures on a wall makes such a big difference to how you're feeling inside the space? And you can call that home. And lastly, I managed to start the next two bench lids, but I can't continue as I've been waiting for some parts to arrive to finish that, so that will be in another video. I've also been doing a lot of work behind the scenes this week, in the last 2 weeks. I've been getting quotes for my outside storeroom roof and also quotes to run the new septic track. The roof came in a little bit more expensive than I had thought it was going to be originally. So that I'm going to unfortunately have to leave for a later date. But the septic track I'm having more problems with than I thought I was going to have. I've had 2 people now come and quote separately to see what they can do with the track. Both of them were engineers. I wanted to get engineers' feedback this time to do this properly. I don't want to dig this up a 5th time. I don't know, this may be the 4th or the 5th time that this is going to get done again now if I do it. Neither of them gave me the same feedback, so that was a little bit weird. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, to be honest. I may need to find another person to come and give a suggestion. The one person that was able to, well, the one engineer gave me his suggestions of what he would do, but he still hasn't given me a quote, and he hasn't been back, and I can't get this guy back since January, and I don't know what's happened to him. The other guy couldn't give me a quote to do it because he wants me to first hire other people with a digger to dig up the entire track and the septic tank before he will even come back to look and see if he can do anything about it or to give me a proper quote. I would prefer to have someone come and do the whole job for me, so I'm back on the lookout to find someone else to come and quote. This is not an easy process at all. I've also been playing around with my kitchen a little bit more. Now, a few months ago, I was drawing up my plans for the kitchen. I think this was actually when I was in Lisbon in November. After a lot of quotes at some of the other DIY stores around here, I went to IKEA in November to spec up my kitchen with some of the cabinets. I did 3 examples with 3 different types of cabinets, 2 different types of tops, countertops, and yeah, the quotes for IKEA was definitely cheaper than the DIY stores, but still came in above €5,000, which is a lot of money to spend at one time. So I've been playing around with some other ideas, and I was looking at a brick-built base kitchen, not a cement countertop, but a brick-built base cement kitchen that I would then attach the cupboards to, the cabinets to. But after speaking to a lot of people and doing a bunch of research on that, it doesn't really make much of a difference in the budget. So I'm going to just recalculate my kitchen, respec that, take out some of the top of the range stuff, I would guess, like all the nice to haves. I'm going to just trim it down to the basics just to get a kitchen in here and then see what that work comes back with. So there's been a lot of behind the scenes work besides the little things that I have been able to do in the last weeks. just based on the weather. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.
This is Girl Meets Farm.
Today I have help arriving to come help me prune my big olives, as well as the rest of the olives on the farm. Yes, it is that time again. So and these grow so fast. This year I do want to bring them down a little bit and also clean up those branches that are hanging over the road. I'm not sure what they're gonna look like or if we can do that. So let's see what they look like after the pruning. Oop. After the pruning, we've already managed to crown the first tree. It was a lot of work to trim on the side of the branches that are hanging over the road, clean out the interior like a donut, like we did the year before, but I also wanted those four specifically a little bit lower because there's a power cable right there and I don't want that interfering with the power cable, of course. So doesn't that look incredible? That looks so much better. But next year we will continue with the other three, but that was the biggest one. This is how much came off the tree and from the inside. Now that we're a little bit closer, you can see that it's got nice space inside so that it can breathe nicely. For those of you that missed last year's pruning video of the olive trees, the reason we cut the donut shape on most trees, actually, most fruit-giving trees, fruit-bearing trees, is so that they get more sunlight and more air on the inside, and that eventually all the fruits grow on the outside, which is why it's kind of called the donut shape. They produce a lot more fruit this way. It's a lot. We managed to get all the suckers from the bases of the olive trees, and for some trees managed to do a little bit more pruning as well. Not an awful lot on some of them, some need more than others. What I do with all of this is to gather them up, which is quite a big job in themselves, in itself. Gather up all the leaves because the grass is now going to be growing quite a bit, and eventually it just grows completely over all of these branches, of course, and then it makes it harder to get them out. So if I gather them all up now, put them in a heap, and then prepare them for a heap burn, just to get rid of all of the branches in one go, as I did last year as well. Makes it a lot simpler. If there's any larger pieces of olive branches, I will keep that for burning in my fireplace next winter. I guess these two only had their suckers done. That one had a lot done. Suckers and some trimming. So let's clean up. These three are keeping me company today. We've got Tobias, we've got Tux that is lying there behind the watering can, and then his mom, which is in the shade, Sunny. And they're just all keeping an eye on me, enjoying the sun, and waiting for me to refill their bowls all day. Cats.